Okay, I've got 10:01, so let's get started. Good morning to our board and guest. This is an historic event today. First time the board has ever met by Zoom, so someday you can tell your grandchildren that. Anyway, a great day. Thank you all for coming. Thank you to Dr. Markham and Ms. Abernathy for putting this meeting together. They've done a great job and worked hard on it. Glad to have Nick Fuller also with us from the board. Let me tell you who I have here. This is the latest list from Nicole. I have Al here, and why don't you just say here as I read your name. Al?
It's here.
Kevin Anderson?
Here.
Bill Clary?
Here.
Lori Griffin?
Here.
Chad Hooten? Chad's not on yet. Andy McNeil?
Here.
Greg Rebels? And Michael Stanton, Dr. Stanton. With that number, Nicole, do we still have a quorum?
No, sir, but I suggest we go ahead and start and they will join us shortly.
Okay, we're still missing Chad and who else? Mike and Greg, I guess.
Yes, sir.
And Olin.
Okay. Sorry?
And Olin.
Yeah, we had Olin already down. Olin and Chris Gillum have already told us they won't be here today. Okay, thank you all for coming together. At this time, I'm going to have our finance committee meeting meet first. And Mr. Anderson, I'll turn it over to you.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Carr. Again, just a reminder for anyone that's on, mute if possible and minimize the background noise. So the first and only item on the agenda for the Finance Committee is the distribution of mineral lease funds. That begins on page 7-1 of the agenda book. And Mr. Fuller, you have the floor. Are you there, Nick?
He muted himself.
Yes, sorry. I muted myself apparently. So this is for a distribution of mineral lease funds to the RON program. And this is going to be for a release up to $350,000 that's requested from the Research and Education Optical Network. At current time, there is $133,000 in the fund to be released by year end. But if any other deposits are made through these mineral leases, we can release up to the $350,000 by June 30th to the program. And ADHE staff does recommend approval of this resolution.
Are there any questions?
Hey, Nick, I've got it. This is Andy McNeil. I've got a question. I just want to make sure I just understand how this works. So RON is just the optical network that AT&T put in, whatever, a couple decades ago. As I understand it, I guess there is monies that flow from the leases go into the maintenance fund. They overflow into this research development fund that then people request research and development grants. Is that correct? How that, just the mechanics of that?
Yes, sir. And from the inception of giving the distribution of the funds through the research and development fund, once it finished the maintenance, all of the grants for the research and development have gone to RON. There's been nobody else that has received those grants.
Is that really not for research and just for the support to support the salaries, et cetera, to support the optical network? Is that what it really is for? Or is it really for some research that somebody's applying a grant for?
I don't know that it's for the salaries of the program, but it is to help with the operating costs, because the program, it does help connect all of the institution to make sure that there's the statewide connectivity on the network program.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, no, I'm familiar how it works with the provider. I just didn't know if it was just infrastructure, and I was just curious. I mean, I have no issue with it. I was just curious if that. I suppose it meets the definition of what the purpose of the research development program said, because I just assumed it actually wasn't research, it was just infrastructure cost. But maybe I'm wrong. That's why I'm asking.
I'm not entirely sure. It is for it goes to the program for any operational, purchasing of equipment for renovations to the lab space that they use, any of those types of things. So.
Okay, thank you.
Are there any other questions?
This is Bill Clary. Just a quick question on it is, so right now the current balance is 133,000, but this is 350,000 requested. So is that ongoing until we reach that amount, even if it's next year or the year after?
No, sir. This just for this year's distribution. If we will distribute up to 350,000 by June 30th, depending on whatever balance. Last year I think there was 361,000 total that we collected in the year that was distributed. The year before was 252,000. Year before was 500,000. So it just depends on the estimate of how much is going to be in the fund for the year, how much the program requests to be distributed. And then any money that's accumulated up to that max level is what we give to them for the year. And then they come back next year with a different request.
Okay.
Any other questions? Hearing none, do I hear a motion to approve?
So moved.
Do I hear a second?
This is Al, I second.
Thank you, Al. It's the first and a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Hearing none, motion passes. And that's the only items for discussion. So do I hear a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay, we are adjourned. Back to you, Dr. Carr.